Good morning, even though it is almost 2 o'clock. Yes, I am in the closet on the floor. I have been here since earlier this week. It's now Saturday, and this is like the most comfortable, quietest spot for me. But anyway, I'm about to go and cook breakfast, take a bath, and lay back down because I can and I feel like it.
All right, it's time to eat, you guys.
Very simple. Welcome.
And thanks for a lot of chicken.
Chicken salad.
Chicken salad. Mom? Okay. He's coming. That chicken salad. This one? No, it's not. That was silverware.
Yeah, I'll get it.
That chicken salad. The best.
No. It's old. I didn't think it could get old in the refrigerator. Guess I'll be getting white bread. Where's the bread?
Having some water.
Tyler, don't ask me for nothing else right now. Bon appetit. So I have finished eating and I'm back in the closet again, back at my humble abode, literally. I know y'all probably wondering, why am I in the closet, girlfriend? Like, your clothes is everywhere. Well, listen, I've moved into my house almost 4 years ago, 3.5 years ago. And I remember as I was packing my things to move into my home, I was like, oh God, you know how much I love sitting on the floor. That's how I sit down and debunk and debrief and reflect on things. And that's how I become closer to you, by journaling and reading my Bible and doing all of the things. And I said, oh, whenever I move, oh, my closet is so much bigger. I'm going to make this a prayer closet. It's going to be my personal closet, blah, 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 blah. It's been 3.5 years later, and this is my first time sleeping in my closet, sitting in my closet, having my own relationship with God. So now this is where we are. So as I was sitting down this week, a lot of things have came to my mind. My mind has literally, I've been racing. My mind has been racing on a lot of things. I have been concerned about my finances, been concerned about me being a good mother. I have been concerned about, my future relationships. I have been worrying myself crazy. And I said, you know what? I'm tired of trying to keep the house clean, which I've been doing a good job keeping my house clean, now. Okay. But I was like, a lot of things can wait. My relationship with God and silencing myself and collecting my own thoughts, that can't wait. Like, you got to be able to take care of yourself. So that is what I have been doing. And I didn't realize it, which I have, but I kind of put it in the back burner. But I didn't realize it until I want to say yesterday and sometime this morning that I have been celibate since May 21st of 2021. And it's actually coming up on 5 years. And I'm just like, wow, this is something that I thought that I would never be able to do. Before 2021, I was in a relationship for maybe 7 to 8 years off and on. Of course, I was having children, and it was just a lot, and I was just like, oh, this is just never going to happen. Like, I can't be celibate. Like, it just can't happen. But there comes a time and a place, because I know, like, people want to know, why did you choose celibacy? Well, for me, I chose celibacy because I knew that the boyfriend that I knew that he was talking to other people. There were different points and times in our relationship that he was talking to people. I didn't know if it was all of the time, some of the time, whatever the case is. So it started getting to a point where I just wouldn't trust him, but I still wanted to have sex with him, like, I didn't trust him. But I'm like, I know, I'm young, I'm crazy, girl, why would you keep going back if you got the second guess and all that kind of stuff? When you in love, you do some crazy things. And he was like my first adult boyfriend, and I just thought he was just the best thing in the world. But I just knew that we were toxic together. I was toxic by myself. Like, I just knew. And it just kind of got to a place where I was like, I do not want to go into my 30s like this. I don't want to go into my 30s just dealing with somebody like that, having that conscience in my head that I could be jeopardizing my body because of a temporary pleasure. And plus, I was trying to get my relationship back right with God. So, I remember that last time I said, I just knew, I felt it, but I consciously told myself, I was like, yeah, this is it. Like, I can't do this, because every time I would do it, I would, number one, get a plan B, because I, wasn't protecting myself. Listen, if you are a kid, first of all, don't do what I did, okay? Just take my advice. Whatever I am to you, I could be your big sis, I could be auntie, whatever it is. I'm telling you right now, do not put yourself in no situation like that, because the world is dangerous. People are withholding things, people are faking things, and you just gotta know and be protective of yourself, okay? Don't worry about what the other person wants. At the end of the day, you have to take care of your body. So anyway, I was constantly like going to get a plan B because number one, I didn't want to be pregnant. Then number two, I went to the doctor just to make sure. I was like, to me, I would have sex, but like before all of the diseases and whatever it is, like it kind of takes like 1 to 2 weeks for them to see or tell, even with the blood test or whatever. So for me, I would just have to wait like 2 to 3 weeks, and that would just be like the most stressful times or whatever. Mind you, I ain't got no symptoms, ain't nothing going on, but it's just a simple fact that I just don't trust that man that I just slept with no protection, So anyway, I just got tired of doing that. I got tired of taking time out of my day to go to the doctor, to go to an urgent care or whatever the case is. I'm tired of spending $50+ for a plan B. I just got tired of doing all of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? And I just really needed my relationship back with God, because I just knew that the person that I was dealing with at the time, I was like, he's very toxic. And because he was very toxic and I was so in love with him, I then became toxic. I became a person that I just didn't even recognize. I didn't even know the who I actually was. And I didn't want that for me. I did not want that mentally. I did not want to go in my 30s, because I know like there were at the time, I had like 50-year-old friends, 40-year-old friends, and they were just doing a whole bunch of stuff that teenagers do. And I was like, God, I don't want that for my life. And so basically, I just made a conscious decision. I was like, revealed to me, number one, that this man is not my husband, which I already knew, but I didn't really want to know, but I knew. And I remember he lashed out one day just for no reason. And I didn't have the capacity to argue. I just blocked him, let him go, and that was it. And to say that this thing is easy, I'm here to tell you that it's not. And I'm gonna tell you what I learned for each part of those years. The first year, I got my answer, back in 2021, but it was just so many things that I was going through. I was going through so many emotions, I was so used to toxicity that when I had peace in my life, it felt uncomfortable. So I had to get through that. There were spurts where I would think about this man, and I would think about, having sex and, breaking my celibacy. But then I would think about the bad that actually outweighed all of the good and all of the things that I really, really wanted to do. And I was like, I'm good. I'm good. So I went through that the first year. The second year, things were completely slowed down. I didn't have any friends that I was talking to. I was really to myself. I stopped going out, not like to the clubs and stuff like that, but I just stopped, and I was just like, wow. Like I was starting to like be proud of myself. Like, wow, I can't believe that I'm actually doing this. Yes, I got people that I could entertain, but I'm choosing not to. So I feel like I was getting a little bit of my power back. Year 3, I was just like, oh my gosh, I wonder if I made a bad mistake. Does anybody want me? Because at that time, everybody that, was trying to talk to me ain't even looking my way anymore. Some of them got married, got engaged, got new relationships, and just people just wasn't checking for me. And, there was some things that I knew that I needed to work on for myself. And so I did that. And some of the things that I did to work on myself is, who are you? Like I had to do a woman in the mirror and be like, Tracy, who are you? What do you like about yourself? What do you love about yourself? You are not this 20-something-year-old girl anymore. You are a grown woman, big girl bills. You got a home mortgage. You got 3 kids. You're a single mother. You got a good job. You got all these things going for yourself. But do you really, really know who you are? And I spent a long time working on that. Year 4, and yeah, like year 4, I felt good. I felt like I knew exactly, like, I think this is like year 4 going into year 5. And when I tell you, like, I just feel like I know what I want. And a lot of it comes with maturity and age too, but a lot of it is like, I know what I want. I know like the type of guy that I want. I know who I am. I know what I am going to stand for and what I'm not going to stand for, what I am going to entertain and what I'm not going to entertain. Like, I'm familiar with all of those things, and I know. And it's like, now I'm kind of to the place where I want to kind of put myself out there to date, because sitting in the house and just doing anything, doing nothing, it's just like, sometimes it can be depressing, especially if you're a single mother. I have 3 children and they're all in different walks of life. I have a teenager, I have someone that's coming into their preteens, and then I have the one that's like, they're both coming into their preteens soon. But child, I'm telling you, like, it has been a journey. It has not been easy, but it's definitely been worth it. And also, and most importantly, y'all, I wanted to talk about that first, but I was like, I want to get down to the nitty gritty because I already know that's what y'all want to know anyway. But I'm telling you right now, if you have not had your relationship with God, like, this is like the best time. You know what I'm saying? I ask God to preserve me in so many areas of my life. Like, I talk to God about the big things, the little things. Like, I literally sit back and I know, and I can hear when God is speaking to me about a situation. God is speaking to me about me. God is speaking to me about how I can be a better mother, how I can parent, my needs. And so my thing is, one thing that God has definitely taught me and shown me is that he gave me 3 beautiful gifts, which is my children. And when I tell you, I asked God, I was like, teach me how to be a parent. I know like how I want them to be, but I want to see them how you see them, God. I want to be that parent that, and help me, because like, of course, even if you have twins, every child is different, and you have to be able to to teach them. And so that's basically, what I have been doing, and, meeting them where they are, and, developing their own individual relationships. And it's just been working, and I'm very grateful for that. It's a journey, but I wouldn't want to be anywhere else, as a single woman. Okay. Now, if you married, you need to be getting it in. Okay. But as a single woman, I wouldn't want to be nowhere else. And, it also feels good to see that, like, everybody that you might know, they might be out here, doing the thing and all this kind of stuff. But you got to look at the difference between other people and you. And what I noticed is that I don't judge people by what they do and what they got going on. People come from different walks of life. God has them in different situations. But I just know for me, I'm okay with being home. I'm okay with being with my children. I'm most importantly okay with me and God in this Bible. Okay? Like, I don't know. I can't really explain it, but I love being a parent. I'm a single mother, yes. And, it's always unfortunate having to raise 3 children on my own. But that still doesn't take away the fact that I love being a parent. Like, I absolutely do. I love seeing them grow. I love seeing them mature. I love seeing them come into their own personalities. I love seeing them handle certain situations. And what is also most rewarding is that I love seeing seeing them take on the wisdom and the knowledge that I have taught them throughout the years. It's just certain things that they do with their friends is to a certain extent because they know, because of the things that I have taught them and what they have learned, So everybody else, like let's say for instance, you know, there's people out here, kids that are running wild and, you know, cussing every chance they get it. Da, 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 da. Well, my kids, they not gonna do that, you know, and you know, at least not right now. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of things that, you know, my mama thought that I would never do, but hey, I did that and then some, you know. But the thing is, I just know that God has his hands all over them. And like I said all that to say that I know that the more that I nurture and love and take care of them, God always takes care of me. He always takes care of me. Always. And so that's why I pour so much into my children, and certain things that I might be wanting, God will make it happen for me. So I'm just going to end this here. I'm just going to have this vlog kind of short today. But if you like a little bit of this, you already know what to do. And I'll just see you later. Bye.